Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the Queen's Park Savannah in the capital of Trinidad and Tobago, Port of Spain. And we invite you to stand for the national anthem of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, performed this evening by Daniel Williams.
From the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Our thanks to you, and we invite you to take your seats at this time. Thank you. The Acting Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Colm Imber, the Minister of Culture and the Arts, the Honorable Dr. Nian Gadsby Dolly, the Assistant Secretary General of CARICOM, Ministers of Government, Members of Parliament, Heads of Delegations, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. This evening's closing presentation is The Rainforest. And as we begin the program, our invocation comes from the First Peoples heritage. The First Peoples Carib community from Arima are the descendants of the indigenous or the original inhabitants of the land and surrounding waters of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. The indigenous communities in the Caribbean have a long and unbroken tradition and a history of thousands of years. The life is a continuous interplay of matter and spirit, and everything has a spiritual dimension. The planet Earth, or Mother Earth, is given to human beings to live and occupy as caretakers with an eternal duty to protect and nurture its sacredness. The smoke ceremony is the spiritual ritual that is performed using the medium of fire and smoke, the two sacred elements of indigenous belief systems, to offer our prayers to the Great Spirit. We invite you to join in the invocation presented by the First Peoples of the Santa Rosa community.
Ehei, Papa Tamushi, Adayali Wachinati, ehei. Yakua Hikihi, Yakua Iniabu, Yakua Hororo, ehei, Papa Tamushi, Adayali Wachinati, ehei. Hey, ya, ya, wa, hey. Hey, ya, wa, hey, hey. Hey, ya, wa, hey, hey. We offer our prayers to Tamashi Adayali Wachinachi, the Creator who dwells in the highest heaven, and who have placed us upon Mama Hororo, Mother Earth. From Mother Earth, we send our prayers to the highest heaven and the elements of the heavens. And we ask that the guardian spirits, those of the east, horn, those of the west, those of the north, and those of the south, bear witness to our prayer. Hey, ya, hey, 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 ya, hey, ay, ya, hey, hey, ya, hey, hey. hey, 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 hey.
The Santa Rosa First Peoples of Trinidad and Tobago and their presentation of the spiritual smoke ceremony. Just to let you know, based on this profound vision, the smoke ceremony symbolized the acknowledgement of all indigenous persons of the Caribbean, all indigenous communities in the Caribbean, and the long and unbroken tradition and history of indigenous communities acknowledging each other across the Caribbean for well over 9,000 years, which is what archaeological and scholarly studies have revealed, that the ancestors of the first peoples have inhabited this land some 9,000 years ago. This evening, ladies and gentlemen, the Queen's Park Savannah serves as the CARIFESTA ground, not just for tonight, but for the last 10 days, where thousands have gathered to witness the gifts of art, of culture, and of talent on display from the length and breadth of the Caribbean. Notwithstanding size and location and origin, this ground has vibrated with the rhythms of the Caribbean. This evening, as we felt the thunder roll and witnessed the Santa Rosa First Peoples of Trinidad and Tobago conduct the spiritual smoke ceremony, we acknowledge our gifts and our talents as Caribbean people and give thanks for CARIFESTA that came to Trinidad and Tobago in 2019, and we observed tonight Rainforest. Here begins each beginning. We acknowledge our sponsors and partners for CARIFESTA 14.
trumpets might as well be the last. There's a natural mystic, natural mystic. Listen carefully.
There's a natural mystic flowing through the air. If you listen carefully now, you will hear. It could be the first trumpet, might as well be the last. Many more will have to suffer, many more will have to die. Don't ask me why.
Things are not the way they used to be. I won't tell no lie. One and all got to face reality now.
Though I try to find the answers to all the questions they ask, and I know that it's impossible to go living through the past. Don't tell no lie. There's a natural mystic blowing through the air. Can't keep that down.
If you listen carefully now, you will hear.
Such a natural mystic
Blowing through the air.
such a natural mystic.
Blowing through the air.
This could be the first trumpet, might as well be the last. Many more will have to suffer, many more will have to die. Don't ask me why. It's a natural mystic blowing through the air. I won't tell no lie.
If you listen carefully now, you will hear.
Though I try to find the answers to all the questions they ask, though I know that it's impossible to go living through the past. Don't tell no lie. There's a natural mystic blowing through the air. Can't keep them down.
If you listen carefully now, you will hear.
Such a natural mystic.
Blowing through the air.
Such a natural mystic.
Blowing through the air.
Blowing through the air.
Such a natural mystic. Blowing through the air. Such a natural mystic.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Blowing through the air.
Blowing through the air.
Such a natural mystic.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Such a natural mystic.
Natural mystic now.
Blowing through the air.
Ladies and gentlemen, CARIFESTA 14, we present to you renowned soca vocalist and performer, Blacks.
let we do it, let we do it, let we do it, let we. Them vampire coming, them Sukuya coming. I see them, they coming, they coming, they coming. They say, oh, yeah, for me, but I still going strong. I bought them from Guyana to try and let me down. Sing it out. I am blessed. They say, wow, and come for me. It's going on too long. Me time all that she too for maintenance on me son, but I am blessed. Here we go. Any day and any time is a good time right now. My time to shine now. Anytime is a good time now. I love in the way how I feeling. Anytime is a good time right now. My time to shine now. Anytime is a good time now. Now, they say policeman for me. Say me family do wrong. They got me phone I couldn't text, so I put it in some that I am blessed. They say all kind of thing about me correct going too long. But every year I am if I'm winding down in town, 'cause I am blessed. Come to say anytime is a good time right now. My time to shine now. Anytime is a good time now. I feel it to take a wine 'cause it's anytime is a good time right now. My time to shine now. Anytime is a good time now. Look, they coming, they coming. Them vampire coming, them Sukuya coming. I see them, they coming, they coming, they coming. Them backbiters coming, all the haters coming. I see them, they coming. I work hard for everything you see. They can't take that from me. And I thank the Almighty for my sweet family, 'cause I am blessed. Every time I reaching for the top, they're trying to pull me down, but them can never stop the works of the Father, Son, 'cause I am blessed. Here we go. Any day and any time is a good time right now. My time to shine now. Anytime is a good time now. I feel it to take a wine. Come and say anytime is a good time right now. My time to shine now. Anytime is a good time now. So they're coming, they're coming, they're coming, they're coming. Look, them blacks, they're coming. All them haters coming. Them vampire coming. Them Sukuya coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I am Blacks.
They coming, they coming. Them vampire coming.
Stand-a-na-na-na-na.
Them vampire coming.
Stand-a-na-na-na.
Let's hear it once again for the Calypso soca artist Blacks. As our program continues, it's in the rainforest. We welcome on stage the Minister of Community Development, Culture and the Arts for Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Dr. Nian Gadsby Dolly, and her colleague, the Minister of Sports, Culture, National Festivals and the Arts of Antigua and Barbuda, the Honorable Daryl Matthew. They will partake in the symbolic handover of the CARIFESTA handover battle from Trinidad and Tobago to Antigua and Barbuda. Daniel Williams performs Baba. Thank you, honorable ministers.
And as we get ready to head across to beautiful Antigua and Barbuda, we bring you a son from their soil, the ever-talented and amazing Ricardo Drew.
Good night, everybody. Somebody make some noise. Oh, la, 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 la. 8009. I want to tell them, I tell you the word that I jamming in the band. They calling me a hooligan, a hooligan, a hooligan. The word that we jam in the islands. We come from the Caribbean. Boy, we tell them, hey, I don't even take off the shirt yet. I don't even go on the ground yet. I don't even wine on that girl yet. And they calling me a Antigua. I don't even check out half of the. Don't even push up no barrier. I wine on you, everybody give me a small wave. Hey, I tell you it's whole day. We on a mission on the road, not in the cash. Hey, we're vagabonds. It's priority to mash up the party. Those vagabonds nasty. And we going all day, all day. I want to sing, I tell you the word that I jamming in the band. They calling we a hooligan, a hooligan, a hooligan. The word that we jam in the islands. We come from the Caribbean. A vagabond, oh lad, when I push to the crowd, and I start getting loud, flip up my two hand, when I roll on the ground, when I out on the road, and I take off my clothes like animals in a cage. Everybody sing with me. Now I tell you it's whole day. We on a mission on the road, not in the cash. Hey, we're vagabonds. It's priority to mash up the party. Those vagabonds nasty, and we going all day long. 'Cause I'm about the word that I jamming in the band. They calling me a hooligan, a hooligan, a hooligan. The word that I wine on every girl. Which 'cause we from the Caribbean. A vagabond, a vagabond. Boy, I don't even show them the words yet. The rum ain't even quench my thirst yet. I just walk inside the people vet. And they calling me a hooligan. Maybe it's because I have and how I get up and naturally car. Either way, I don't really cater. I tell you it's whole day. We on a mission on the road, not in the cash. Say we're vagabonds. It's priority to mash up the party. Those vagabonds nasty, and we
as we get ready for CARIFESTA 15 in 2021, being hosted in beautiful Antigua and Barbuda, we continue to bring you some dynamic talent from the beautiful Twin Island. This time, let's welcome the ever-vibrant and ever-talented Dennis the Menace.
CARIFESTA! How you feeling? What? The legendary job. I want to see some flags. Let's go. I did this for fun, but nobody's trying for me. I wondering to myself, who the hell are you waiting to see? I look up on the stage, everybody right now. If you have a flag, if you have a rap, wave it. Wave your hands up in the sky. Let's go. Let the fire butterfly. What? Wave your hands up in the air. I want to see some flags. I want to see some flags. Let's go. A legendary job. A legendary. I want to wave for you. Give me a nice wave. Give me a nice wave. What? Voila. Something must be wrong. So when he comes on the stage, I joined in with all my friends to get a piece of the rage. But I was amazed. That's the next act, real man. Crowd of people and I shut the place to the sound of King Onion. Dance crazy. Dance crazy. Dance crazy. Everybody get the skipping rope. Skip, 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 skip. Let me see the hands. What? Yes. A legendary job. What? A legendary job. Box it low. Box it low. Watch it. I want to see everybody right now. Box it low. I want to see the flags. I want to see the rods. Everybody right now. Push it up. Push it up. Push it up. Let's go. Call the people. Grab the button. I want them. Call the people. Grab the button. I want them. Call the people. Grab the button. Everybody. What? A legendary job. A legendary job. Right now, I want to welcome on stage, straight out to Antigua, Claudette, CP, Peter.
And as we segue from Dennis the Menace, we introduce Soca Viva Claudette Peters.
Hello, CARIFESTA! And welcome to Antigua Barbuda. We cannot wait to host CARIFESTA 2021. Whoa! Hold on. Anybody know this song? Something got a hold on me. Eric, let's go. Something got a hold on me. Anybody know it? Could you sing it for me, please? Something got a hold on me. Hey, sing for me. Sing for me, sing for me, sing for me. It's the music I'm feeling. Hey, hey, hey. We must up everybody. Everybody, everybody, everybody jump, everybody jump, 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 jump. Get on, 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 get on. Hey, yo, come now, Antigua, show me aggression. Together we strong, jumping up as one. Out to be as high, and I won't deny. An Antigua champion till the day I die. Yours I say, when me Antigua myself. Hey, show me an Antigua pride. Hands in the air, up in the air, up in the air. I wanna see you jump right. Get on, 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 go. Hey, yo, 2012 I hear, might be we last year. So the Mayan say, is the end of the. But everybody know, and it is a fact. Tomorrow might not come, today not coming. So enjoy yourself. So gather down all your trouble, put them on themselves. Be happy and free yourself. All hands in the air. Up in the air. Up in the air. Let me
Ladies and gentlemen, from one twin island to the other, the stars of Antigua and Barbuda. Give them a round of applause, please. And we acknowledge, of course, the kind support of all of our sponsors for CARIFESTA 14, including our partners. And I'll simply acknowledge the gold sponsors at this time. First Citizens, the official bank of CARIFESTA 14, One Caribbean Media, the House of Angostura, and SCG Caribbean. Our thanks to our gold sponsors. We'll prepare now for the special addresses as part of the closing ceremony and begin by introducing to you, to address you, the Assistant Secretary General of CARICOM. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Douglas Slater.
Her Excellency Paula May Weeks, President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Colm Imbert, Acting Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Nian Gadsby Dolly, Minister of Community Development, Culture and the Arts of Trinidad and Tobago, Honorable Ministers of Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean community, members of the host management committee, the interim festival directorate, the CARIFESTA 14 secretariat and CARICOM secretariat, members of the diplomatic corps, cultural officials and artists, people of our Caribbean community, representatives of the media, good evening, CARIFESTA family. It is for me a great pleasure and privilege to be here with you all at this closing ceremony of the 14th Caribbean Festival of Arts, CARIFESTA 14, and to deliver remarks on behalf of the Secretary General of the Caribbean Community, His Excellency Ambassador Owen LaRocque, who unavoidably is absent tonight. It is amazing how time flies when we are having a good time. And CARIFESTA 14 has been a really great time. If you agree, give yourself a round of applause. It feels like only yesterday that we were all here in the grandstand of the Queen Park Savannah, enjoying the impressive, spectacular opening ceremony of CARIFESTA 14. Resplendent with colorful presentations from our hosts, Trinidad and Tobago, and all the visiting contingents of artists. I think that we all can agree that this edition of the festival has added another meaningful chapter to our CARIFESTA history and raised the bar in terms of the technical and marketing standards in the delivery of the festival. CARIFESTA 14 has been a very vibrant and exciting experience of sharing and showcasing our rich culture, Caribbean culture, and that of many visiting artists and experts from outside our region. Over the past 10 days, we walked the streets of the Caribbean in this magical grand market space, taking in the rich Caribbean flavors, colors, and songs, and we relived the beautiful memories of past CARIFESTAs in Barbados, Haiti, Jamaica, Suriname, Guyana, St. Kitts and Nevis, and yes, here too in Trinidad and Tobago, and also in Cuba. And we now look to our future hosts, Antigua and Barbuda, also well represented with a replica of the St. John's Cathedral in the Grand Market. We enjoyed the performances, exhibitions, dialogues, readings, and other showcases in various CARIFESTA 14 venues and spaces in Trinidad and Tobago. The Youth Village and excellent partnerships with the Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival, Bocas Literary Festival, and the University of the West Indies all provided incredible spaces for sharing and celebration of the various art forms and symposia series. Our hosts, in collaboration with the regional management body for CARIFESTA, made sure that CARIFESTA 14 cater to everyone in a wide array of disciplines, in the literary, in the visual, performing and culinary arts, through intellectual exchanges and master classes, taking into consideration the many dimensions of our Caribbean diversity. I wish to congratulate and thank most sincerely the Honorable Keith Rowley, Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, and his hard-working team for having successfully organized and delivered CARIFESTA 14 and for creating a space where all participating artists and officials were able to explore the theme of CARIFESTA 14, that is, connect, to share, and to invest. And most of all, to celebrate our great Caribbean civilization, our rich culture, and our togetherness as a region. On behalf of the Secretary General and the entire Caribbean community, I extend our deepest appreciation and thanks to Dr. the Honorable Nian Gadsby Dolly, the host Country Management Committee, the CARIFESTA 14 Secretariat, and all the supporting committees in technical, artistic, marketing, festival management, and logistics, the staff, liaisons and volunteers, the drivers, the security forces, all of you for your commitment, long hours and hard work, and your cheerful spirit. Minister, I think you deserve a very special round of applause. We know that the organization of a mega festival such as CARIFESTA is no simple task, and no matter how many times it has been hosted before, every edition of this festival brings new experiences and challenges, but also opportunities to learn and improve the festival. For all the efforts you have made and your tremendous success, we thank you most sincerely. We also thank the people of Trinidad and Tobago for their warm and generous hospitality that made our stay such a pleasant and memorable one. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Trinidad and Tobago, congratulations. You have done it again. We will leave with wonderful memories of CARIFESTA 14 in Trinidad and Tobago. To the many countries and organizations in and outside the region that have participated and continued so significantly to the success of CARIFESTA, I also take this opportunity to express our sincere appreciation. Very special congratulations to all the artists who participated in CARIFESTA 14 and to those who supported them. You were all wonderful and deserve a big round of applause. We have enjoyed your excellent showcases, your creative spirit and positive vibrations, which have made this festival another exciting experience and a platform for regional integration. I also wish to take this opportunity to acknowledge the work done by the members of the Interim Festival Directorate, our regional management body for CARIFESTA, as well as the Regional Cultural Committee and our staff at the CARICOM Secretariat, who all have worked tirelessly in supporting the delivery of the festival. A heartfelt thank you to this very special dedicated team. At this edition of the festival, we welcome 10 ministers of culture from member states and associated member states. This is a record number in terms of attendance in recent CARIFESTAs, and it is an excellent sign of the commitment of our governments to further developing CARIFESTA, culture and the arts in our region. On behalf of all of us, I express my sincere appreciation to all the ministers of culture who attended CARIFESTA 14. On a personal note, there are a few issues and items that I noted which I will briefly mention. In one booth in the animation marketplace, I met a young man, an autistic young man, who demonstrated how differently abled persons can be and should always be integrated. I think his name was Teddy. Teddy, if you're listening out there, thank you for the experience, and say hi to your good friend, the teddy bear. I also met a man who brought me to my childhood days, seeing my grandfather knitting a seine. And he came from the Cayman Islands. It's an art that is being lost because it's now mechanized. In the green zone, we demonstrated how it's not just about the arts, but how the arts is important in protecting our environment. And as the first peoples demonstrated in the opening of this ceremony, it is important that we protect our environment. The youth village and those persons there who demonstrated how we can use art to fight non-communicable diseases and drugs. All of that was some things that stood out for me. But another one was when Marshall Montano opened and closed his performance with the big, what I will call the Caribbean Road March family. It was demonstrated what CARIFESTA is all about, a big, big family. So we are about to witness this moment, a special moment in the history of CARIFESTA in this closing ceremony, as each host country has designed since 1972, for the past 14 editions, each host country designed a different logo for CARIFESTA. As we are now moving the festival to a level, greater sustainability, and to ensure that we'll leverage the CARIFESTA brand for maximum benefit, tonight we will unveil the permanent CARIFESTA logo. CARICOM Ministers of Culture, in keeping with the recommendation of the CARICOM strategic plan, approved the design of a permanent logo for the festival at its 36th meeting of Human and Social Development Council, which was held in Guyana. We are so pleased that the permanent brand of CARIFESTA will be officially launched tonight, and congratulate Mr. Anthony Cooks of Pan Media, which is based in Jamaica. As we stand here in the Queen's Park Savannah, the main hub for CARIFESTA 14 over the past 10 glorious days, we all have mixed feelings, since we know that all good things must come to an end. As the curtain comes down on CARIFESTA 14 and Trinidad and Tobago hands over the festival baton, handed over, as you saw, to Antigua and Barbuda, we now look forward to the preparations of CARIFESTA 15 in 2021 in Antigua and Barbuda. We thank the Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, the Right Honorable Gaston Brown, for the kind offer to host CARIFESTA 15, and the presence here this evening of Honorable Daryl Matthew, Minister of Sports, Culture, National Festivals and the Arts, which signals a strong commitment of Antigua and Barbuda to its role as the next host of CARIFESTA. Antigua and Barbuda, our Eastern Caribbean sister state, known for its rich Creole culture, is ready and willing to take up the mantle as host. We have enjoyed their sumptuous cuisine in the CARIFESTA 14 food court, and many dynamic performances from Antigua and Barbuda, large and diverse contingent of artists. This has given us a taste of the great experience we can anticipate at CARIFESTA 15 in 2021. It has been so good to be here at CARIFESTA 14 in Trinidad and Tobago. I now take this opportunity to wish you all a safe journey back home, taking with you the beautiful memories of CARIFESTA 14, until we meet again at CARIFESTA 15 in Antigua and Barbuda in 2021. Do enjoy the rest of the evening, and I thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Douglas Slater, Assistant Secretary General of the CARICOM community. Ladies and gentlemen, for the last 10 days here at the Queen's Park Savannah, one lady has had to ensure that all the work that took place from receiving the baton from Barbados a few years ago to the culmination tonight, that Trinidad and Tobago stood proud across the Caribbean. Tonight, it's her opportunity To address you once again at the closing ceremony, will you please welcome the Minister of Community Development, Culture and the Arts, the Honorable Dr. Nyan Gadsby Dolly.
The Honorable Colum Imbert, Acting Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and Mrs. Imbert. His Worship Joel Martinez, Mayor of Port of Spain. Mrs. Bridget Anissa George, Speaker of the House of Representatives, and Mr. Newman George. Cabinet colleagues and members of Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago. Mrs. Nadine Stewart Phillips, Secretary of Tourism, Culture and Transportation of the THA, and other THA secretaries and assemblymen who are here present. Dr. Douglas Slater, Assistant Secretary General of the CARICOM Secretariat, and Mrs. Slater. Dr. June Suma, Secretary General of the Association of the Caribbean States. Dr. Hilary Brown, Program Manager for Culture and Community Development of the CARICOM Secretariat. Members of the Diplomatic Corps, other Ministers of Culture who are present with us, including the Minister of Culture from Antigua and Barbuda, Mr. Darren Matthews, all CARIFESTA delegations from around the region, members of the Host Country Management Committee and the CARIFESTA Secretariat, specially invited guests, members of the media, ladies, gentlemen, and children, good evening. The reviews are in, and I believe I speak for all of Trinidad and Tobago when I say that CARIFESTA 14 was a wonderful success. How does one bring closure to a festival such as CARIFESTA? All over social media, the cries have gone up. Could CARIFESTA last just a little bit longer? For the past 10 days, this festival impacted the way we value Caribbean identity and shifted our paradigms. We in Trinidad and Tobago felt so proud to host the region. Delegates, I ask you, how was your experience at CARIFESTA 14? I have the strong feeling that you enjoyed being here as much as we enjoyed hosting you. It is said that one of the most energetic events in the universe is a supernova, a powerful explosion in the cosmos when a star has reached the end of its life. I compare the energy emitted from CARIFESTA 14 to that of a cultural supernova, exploding in the hearts and minds of the Caribbean people. However, this star, in the words of Aaron Voice St. Louis, one of our CARIFESTA 14 brand ambassadors, is far from finished. CARIFESTA will continue to endure throughout the chapters of the Caribbean's history, intensifying an already luminous glow on the region's premier artistic expression. I wish to reflect on the many milestones achieved for CARIFESTA 14. We set out on a mission to take our Caribbean film, dance, music, theater, visual arts, symposia, literary arts, food, and fashion, and to meticulously devise an impactful master plan to present these offerings to the people of the region and diaspora with a world-class finish. In the area of film, the Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival not only featured a wide cross-section of film from across the region, but facilitated meaningful and much-needed dialogue on the advancement of the industry in the region. I congratulate and express my thanks and gratitude to Dr. Bruce Paddington and his team, who made a sterling contribution to the film industry in TNT, as well as for CARIFESTA 14. The Bocas Lit Fest, CARIFESTA edition, was a resounding success with a feast of compelling writing, poetry, and rhapsody. Ably led by founder and festival director Marina Salandi Brown, the festival included an open call for writers from participant countries to read from their respective works and saw over 130 persons registering. The free workshops and panel discussions all taught willing participants how to rethink the way we write and interpret the writings of others. I thank all of you involved for devoting your time and expertise to nurturing the Caribbean's literary genius. The premier fashion event for CARIFESTA, as spearheaded by Fashion TT, featured the exceptional work of 30 regional designers. The fashion district of the Grand Market, led by Sandra Carr of the University of Trinidad and Tobago, also experienced tremendous success and was constantly abuzz with activity. Speaking of a constant buzz, the Caribbean Food Park at the Grand Market was so magnetic. I am convinced that this will offset more local and regional food festivals in the near future. I thank the delegations and our local persons for sharing your culinary offerings that left us Trinbagonians always people who value our gastronomic delights with unquenched palates. And what better to pair food with than superb entertainment? From the live at lunch concerts featuring local and regional talent, to the invigorating country night performances filled with musical and dance depictions of our collective history and contemporary social issues, to the Best Village Folk Theatre performances, to the larger-than-life pan and powder juggernaut that overtook the capital city, the children's variety show, youth village concerts, and of course, the Island Beats Super Concert, the talent radiating from CARIFESTA 14 replenished our souls in more than one way, since Trinbagonians are always suffering from Carnival to Banca. We have once again proudly demonstrated that when it comes to cultural artistry, this small region is a powerful force to be reckoned with. Our symposia, led by Dr. Susan Burke in conjunction with the University of the West Indies, titled Journey Round Myself, was an opportunity to ask those critical questions about who we are and where we are headed as a region. Through workshops, panel discussions, and masterclasses, we have elevated our cultural consciousness, and this heightened awareness about ourselves is critical to the holistic development of cultural policies and national action plans for culture and the arts in the region. I cannot exclude our visual arts exhibitions, our art gallery hub, and master workshops. The pieces on display from artists around the region, anchored by local masters such as Leroy Clark and Jackie Hinkson, represented an eclectic mix of the old and new Caribbean. I could not be more proud to call myself a citizen of the Caribbean, and I hope that you would all have developed a newfound appreciation for visual arts on the whole. I congratulate the CARIFESTA Secretariat of Tobago for presenting delegates with a unique cultural experience. From the Salaka Feast to the CARIFESTA Village, the Castara Tour and performances, Tobago's cultural offering has added a distinctive dimension to CARIFESTA 14, and even Trinidadians who were present would have benefited from a deeper understanding of the unique and rich culture of our sister isle. As the curtains are now drawing on this epic festival, I must convey my unfathomable gratitude to the host country management committee and the hard-working CARIFESTA Secretariat for bringing this vision of CARIFESTA 14 to life. To John Arnold, Arlene Holman, Jamie Thomas, Patricia Brown, Colin Lucas, Kayan Lane, Akosua Edwards, I say my profound thank you. You have all proven that the human spirit is an unconquerable warrior, and you worked rigorously over the past 2 years to secure success. I also convey gratitude to CARICOM, the Interim Festival Directorate, all regional stakeholders, as well as to the 2017 CARIFESTA host country, Barbados, for the invaluable guidance provided to Trinidad and Tobago. Your support was crucial to our success. I thank corporate Trinidad and Tobago for their unquestioning allegiance to culture and the arts. Thanks to our platinum sponsor, to First Citizens, the official bank for CARIFESTA 14, B-Mobile and Republic Bank for powering our successful youth village, One Caribbean Media, SCG Caribbean, Angostura, Caribbean Airlines, NLCB, Digicel, LIAT, the Trinidad Hilton and Conference Center, the TTMA, TTT for daily coverage of our events, Udicot, Hyatt, Blue Waters, Coca-Cola, Massey Stores, Movie Town, Proudly TNT, TGM, Anime Carib, Swim Call, Fashion TT, Film TT, the NGC Bocas Lit Fest, Tempo, Global Villages, Music TT, Nalis, the EMA, Film Company, and the list goes on. I think they deserve a serious and appreciative round of applause for their support for CARIFESTA 14. So, what is next after CARIFESTA? We must convert the learnings from the hosting of this mega festival into tangible actions. CARIFESTA, a developmental showcase for the regional arts, really has to benefit us in the long term. We can all agree that the potential for monetization of our rich culture and heritage is unparalleled. Culture is, after all, our greatest asset. It is bountiful, transcends divisive barriers of gender, social status, ideology, race, and politics, and will never be depleted. So to the delegates of CARIFESTA 14, may our region's culture continue to increasingly impact our respective GDPs and strengthen those familial bonds we share as a people. To the 2021 host country, Antigua and Barbuda, please know that Trinidad and Tobago stands ready to support you and offer any guidance necessary to ensure that the standard and reach and impact of CARIFESTA is elevated every 2 years. We are already looking forward to bringing our Trinbagonian delegation to your shores, and we know that the people of Antigua and Barbuda will extend the very finest hospitality to the region. We can hardly wait. For now, we bid CARIFESTA farewell, and I am certain that the invaluable insights gained, as well as the lessons learned, will go hand in hand to uplift Trinidad and Tobago's own cultural landscape. We were indeed honored to host you. I thank you all for your presence here tonight at this closing ceremony, and I invite you to enjoy the last sights and sounds of CARIFESTA 14 Trinidad and Tobago. Long live Caribbean culture.
Our thanks once again to the Honorable Dr. Nian Gadsby Dolly, the Minister of Community Development, Culture and the Arts. And as the baton has been passed, ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome the Minister of Sports, Culture, National Festivals and the Arts from Antigua and Barbuda, the Honorable Darrell Matthew.
The Honorable Colum Imbert, Acting Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, the Minister of Community Development, Culture and the Arts, Dr. the Honorable Nian Gadsby Dolly, other members of government and of Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago, members of government represented here this evening of other Caribbean nations, Assistant Secretary General of CARICOM, Dr. Douglas Slater, specially invited guests, all participants of CARIFESTA 14, and last but certainly not least, to you, the citizens of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, good night. I bring you greetings this evening on behalf of my Prime Minister, the Honorable Gaston Brown, and the entire government and the people of Antigua and Barbuda. I also wish to offer advanced congratulations to you, Trinidad and Tobago, on the celebration of your 57th anniversary of independence on August 31st. Over the past 10 days, the Caribbean descended upon Trinidad and Tobago to exhibit and experience our uniqueness as a people, our Caribbeanness. As a Caribbean people, we demonstrated how much we love our beautiful corner of this planet. And we demonstrated also that there is no other place in this world that we would rather be. From the Bahamas in the north to Suriname in the south, from Belize in the west to Barbados in the east, we all came to Trinidad and Tobago and we experienced the pulsating rhythm of steel pan, the evocative movements of our dancers, the delectable taste and smells of our Caribbean cuisine, our rich history. We experienced the creativity of our designers, musicians, singers, and playwrights. We experienced Caribbean commonality. We experienced what is meant to be a truly Caribbean family. I believe I speak for all delegations represented here in saying that CARIFESTA 14 was a true success story. You, Trinidad and Tobago, have raised the bar to what was previously considered unattainable heights for CARIFESTA. You have set a new standard that has given us yet another reason to be proud to say that we are from the Caribbean. I commend the Minister with responsibility for culture, the Honorable Nian Gadsby Dolly, the Prime Minister, the Honorable Keith Rowley, and the government and people of Trinidad and Tobago for the superb execution of this important Caribbean exhibition. At a time, ladies and gentlemen, where there is a perception that many organs of CARICOM may not be achieving the lofty goals that were envisioned when they were set, this collective sharing of uniqueness and identity called culture continues to build bridges over the waters of our Caribbean civilization. And throughout the past 10 days, we as a Caribbean people were able to immerse ourselves in our rich history and commit new energies to the preservation of our culture and the integration of our peoples. Our Caribbean space is a unique melting pot for us people in the region. We are the descendants of Amerindians, the descendants of Chinese, the descendants of East Indians, and the descendants of Africans. And despite our varied ancestral backgrounds, we have integrated to create the Caribbean man and the Caribbean woman. For Antigua and Barbuda's delegation, it was an experience of a lifetime and a celebration of Caribbean unity despite our geographic differences. This was demonstrated when the legendary Len Bugsy Sharp joined Antigua and Barbudan young pianist and arranger, Can Cordis, in a rendition of Antigua and Barbudan Calypso on the steel pan. This seemingly simple gesture highlights not only master meeting youth, but also a recognition that for our culture to survive and thrive, we must be willing to teach and willing to learn. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2 short years, in 2021, Antigua and Barbuda will have the opportunity to continue the rich tradition of showcasing the Caribbean. As Sir Edwin Carrington, former Secretary General of CARICOM, once said, and I quote, "CARIFESTA embodies Caribbean integration. It is here that the people of the region come together, commingle, creating one community, one people. That is integration. Further, this event strengthens the bonds between us, displays our creativity and ingenuity, and demonstrates to the world the best that this region has to offer. CARIFESTA celebrates our Caribbean being in a way that no other single event can. As Antigua and Barbuda's Minister with responsibility for sports, culture, national festivals, and the arts, the task will be mine to welcome you, the Caribbean, to our shores, and to further advance the vision of one Caribbean, one people. My friends, Antigua and Barbuda is the Caribbean. No other country in our region can boast that their society is as cosmopolitan a mix of the Caribbean people as Antigua and Barbuda. So in fact, we will be welcoming each of you home. For Antigua and Barbuda, the hosting of CARIFESTA 15 in 2021 coincides with the 40th year of our young nation's post-independence era. This alignment of stars gives us an opportunity to harness the consciousness of our people and the attention of our collective diaspora to commit to playing a greater role in uniting our people. Also, capitalizing on our Caribbean uniqueness in establishing our region as an economic and a cultural juggernaut. CARIFESTA 15 in Antigua and Barbuda will aim to continue the long tradition of deepening the awareness and knowledge of our varied visions for a better Caribbean through the exhibition of talents and skills of our peoples to each other culturally. Antigua and Barbuda, the tiny nation whose strength of character and pride created cricketing legends Sir Andy Roberts, Sir Richie Richardson, and Sir Curtly Ambrose. Antigua and Barbuda, the nation with a people buoyed by the determination to overcome adversity and to succeed, as demonstrated by our national heroes, Sir Isaac Vivian Alexander Richards, King Court, and Sir Vere Cornwall Byrd Sr. Antigua and Barbuda, the land of 365 white and pink sand beaches, one for every day of the year, the pulsating rhythms of steel bands like Hell's Gate, Harmonites, and Halcyon. My brothers and sisters, we live in an era today of extreme uncertainty and of great challenges in the world. However, this Caribbean civilization does not have a history of succumbing to adversity. Our Caribbean experience created a Marcus Garvey, a Bob Marley, an Usain Bolt, a Brian Lara, and a Vivian Richards. This Caribbean experience created Nobel laureates, Sir Derek Walcott, V.S. Naipaul, and Sir Arthur Lewis. We introduced the world to reggae, calypso, and the steel band. If this does not demonstrate the greatness of our people, then I do not know what can. Let us never shirk from the challenges of our era. Let us never allow ourselves to forget those upon whose shoulders we stand. Let us never underestimate our ability as the Caribbean people to change the world. Ladies and gentlemen, pack your bags and book your flights. Prepare yourselves as we take another step towards the continued development of our Caribbean civilization. Prepare yourselves to experience an explosion of history and culture. Prepare yourselves for CARIFESTA 15 in Antigua and Barbuda. See you in 2021. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to the Honourable Darrell Matthew from Antigua and Barbuda. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, will you please welcome to address you at the closing ceremony of CARIFESTA 14, the Acting Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Colm Imbert.
Good evening, everyone. Dr. the Honorable Nyan Gadsby Dolly, Minister of Community Development, Culture and the Arts. The Honorable Darrell Matthew, Minister of Sport and Culture, Antigua and Barbuda. Members of the Cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago and other ministers from other countries in the Caribbean. The Honorable Nadine Stewart, Secretary for Tourism, Culture and Transportation in the Tobago House of Assembly, Members of Parliament, Dr. Douglas Slater, Deputy Secretary General of the CARICOM Secretariat, members of the Diplomatic Corps, members of the host country management, all CARIFESTA delegations, and especially our Trinidad and Tobago delegation, specially invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the substantive Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, who's on Barbados, it is my distinct pleasure to give this address. I'm told that the Caribbean Festival of Creative Arts, or CARIFESTA as it's called, emerged from a collaborative appeal from artists within our region, who at the time participating in a writers and artists convention in Guyana in 1970. From its inception, the main considerations for the staging of CARIFESTA were, one, that the festival should be inspirational. Was this festival inspirational? It most certainly was. And provide artists with the opportunity to discuss their creative expressions among themselves. Two, that it should allow the people of the region to be exposed to the many and varying Caribbean art forms. That it should be entertaining on a scale and in a fashion that would commend itself to the Caribbean people. It is noteworthy that the inaugural CARIFESTA in Georgetown in 1972, 47 years ago, attracted many regional artists from the Caribbean and Latin America and celebrated the ethnic and cultural diversity of the Caribbean. The festival today continues to celebrate our diversity and our unique Caribbean identity. As described on the CARIFESTA website, it is a vision of the peoples with roots deep in Asia, Europe, and Africa, coming together to perform their art forms and embrace literature inspired by the Caribbean's own peculiar temperament. CARIFESTA has always sought to depict the life of the people of our region, our heroes, traditions, beliefs, and creative expressions, thus illustrating the similarities and differences of the people of our region, and creating a climate in which art can flourish so that artists could be encouraged to return to their homelands and awaken a regional identity. This CARIFESTA 5 was first held in Trinidad and Tobago in 1992. It was a watershed event in the development and promotion of the arts and culture in the region. Since then, Trinidad and Tobago has been the host country for CARIFESTA on 3 other occasions, 1995, 2006, and this year, 2019, and we welcome the opportunity. From all reports, CARIFESTA 14, Trinidad and Tobago 2019, has been one of the most productive, if not the most prolific, editions of this magnificent festival to date, with exceptionally high creativity and innovation and record investment by the private sector. In fact, I'm amazed at the participation of the private sector. Visitors to this CARIFESTA 14 were treated with a grand market of over 300 booths, including country districts featuring iconic facades from each country. You'll have seen some of them. The cathedral from Antigua the Grand Market from Guyana, from each country, replicated to bring Caribbean architecture into one space. A fashion district with over 30 entrepreneurs. Island craft featuring 60 regional and local artisans. A book fair. A Caribbean food court, which apparently was in so much demand, it was a little too small. In fact, we might need a bigger venue for the next CARIFESTA. A trade zone and a buyer's market with 80 booths. A breakout stage for daily local and regional performances. The Angostura Rum Shop, a good lime in place, and the greening booth. The performances stretched over cultural centers all over Trinidad and Tobago. There were live performances by all 20 participating countries. At the Grandstand Queen's Park right here, at the National Academy for the Performing Arts across the road, at the South Academy for the Performing Arts, Queen's Hall, Central Bank, Naparima Bowl, just to name a few, as well as a suite of literary engagements from open mic readings to classes with award-winning writers and a book fair in partnership with the Bocas Lit Fest. There was also a special CARIFESTA Film Festival, including outdoor and indoor screenings, panel discussions, and premieres of 3 films selected by our own Ministry of Culture, together with the Arts Film Grant in partnership with the Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival. There were visual arts exhibitions featuring our finest local and regional artists at the National Museum and Art Gallery, at Napa, and at the Central Bank, among other events. Worthy of special mention were the symposia entitled Journey Around Myself, with discussions at UWI aimed at raising our collective cultural consciousness. A youth village, which offered a miniature version of the festival, specifically tailored for youths at Bishop Anstey High. Various Best Village competitions, community festivals, and Tobago was not left out. There was a Tobago CARIFESTA Village, which opened from August 19th to 21st in Tobago. Activities in Tobago included a Salaka feast and a Castara bonfire, and many other cultural exchanges and island vibes daily at the Scarborough Esplanade. But I want to talk to you about this CARIFESTA's main achievements, because, ladies and gentlemen, with all the things that are happening in this country, this was a wonderful festival. There was record attendance at the Grand Market, sometimes in excess of 35,000 persons per day, and it was all free. There were consistently high-quality cultural performances throughout. One of the things I heard was the consistent, wonderful quality of the performances. I myself witnessed a few. There were over 35 locally produced signal and niche events with almost 100% audience attendance. Significant opportunities for local and regional entrepreneurs to expose themselves to new markets. There were over 250 young and not so young volunteers giving national service. And most importantly, or equally importantly, our local private sector stepped up, and we had donations to this festival from the local private sector in the form of cash and kind in the sum of $5 million. I thought that was amazing. To sum it up, this CARIFESTA 14 was a resounding success. It was incident-free, highest quality, well attended. It was a safe place for your family. Building on this festival, the government of Trinidad and Tobago will convert our experiences here into tangible actions affecting our national policies for the creative arts, including the development of appropriate fiscal and monetary incentives for our creative sector. In particular, we will use what we have learned here to revitalize our rural and urban communities with cultural showcases and unique community-oriented festivals. On behalf of the government of Trinidad and Tobago, on behalf of the substantive Prime Minister, I would like to thank each and every one involved in making CARIFESTA 14 the outstanding success that it has been. Special commendation must go to the Minister and staff of the Ministry of Community Development, Culture and the Arts. Let's give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. They all worked tirelessly over the last 2 years. This took 2 years in planning to make CARIFESTA 14 a genuine Caribbean success story. For me, this has been a unifying event for our country and our region. And it is obvious to me that from the overwhelming positive response from our people and the participation of our Caribbean brothers and sisters, that everyone has enjoyed this festival tremendously. To those of you who are returning home to your respective countries, I wish you a safe journey. And to everyone, I wish you God's blessings. Thank you and good night.
Thanks once again to the Honorable Colm Imber, the Acting Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Well, ladies and gentlemen, direct your attention to the screens. The Caribbean Community CARICOM is pleased to present to the region and to the world the permanent brand for the Caribbean Festival of Arts, CARIFESTA. The animated logo, the permanent CARIFESTA logo, was designed by Mr. Anthony Cooks of Pan Media, based in Jamaica. And this was approved in June of 2019 by the CARICOM Ministers of Culture. The logo reflects the vibrancy, rhythm, and creativity of the people of the Caribbean, represented by a reveler, a masquerader, a performer, celebrating our distinctive, magnificent Caribbean civilization. We proudly present to you, in the Queen's Park Savannah and across the Caribbean, the permanent CARIFESTA logo. And to pay tribute to the CARIFESTA logo, performing CARIFESTA Rising, ladies and gentlemen, Mavis John.
Distant lands, our forefathers came, some seeking adventure, some bound in chains. Through battles waged and fought, through victory and pain, by test of their courage, our freedom was gained. In homage to those gone before us, the heroes of lands in the sun, we vow to join hands and to focus on building one Caribbean. Raise your voices high, sing of your Caribbean pride.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the CARIFESTA logo and the anthem to herald its launch. Now to perform CARIFESTA Rising, TNT's own Mavis John.
I hear a song, I hear a cry. Some say it's wrong, I can't see why, but all I know is when I hear it, it moves me so, and I feel a spirit. And I heard a wise man say that everything must change. So now it changed. Why are they acting strange? Tell them people, take my CARIFESTA to the mountain. old-time style, putting on a brand new smile, rising out of the ghetto of third world stagnation, reaching out for tomorrow with a world vibration. My CARIFESTA, heading for stardom real quick. But I bet it in your eye. This song was born in chains and tears, but it lived on through freedom years. No more a voice to please on my side. We can rejoice, 'cause we crossed that river. And I heard a wise man say, colonialism reduces culture to folklore and pecan. Not CARIFESTA, take my CARIFESTA to the mountain. And let every drop of earth hear when I sing. Out of them Barakia, CARIFESTA rising. Shaking up that old-time style, putting on a brand new smile, rising out of the ghetto of the world stagnation, reaching out for tomorrow with a world vibration. My CARIFESTA, heading for stardom real quick. My CARIFESTA, heading for stardom real quick.
Thank you to Mavis John.
As we continue with the program, let me acknowledge our silver sponsors, Caribbean Airlines, the official airlines for CARIFESTA 14, B-Mobile, the technology partners, for streets of the Caribbean Grand Market. Right now, we get ready to welcome on stage the Queen of Bacchanal, Destra Garcia.
Opportunity to get on this carnival time. We love the jamming all away collectively in the Bacchanal time to start the fighting. One thing about my country, anywhere we go, we love to party. Where's my party? Get ready. Show me you rock. Do feel me now. Wave your rock high up in the make it rock them fly and fly and fly. We up in the air. It's rock everywhere. We ready for the festival again. I said to wave your rock high up in the sky. Make it rock them fly and fly and fly. We up in the air. It's rock everywhere. We ready for the festival again. Appreciate, don't segregate. 'Cause everybody gotta love somebody. You and me in harmony. Try and try, we bound to make it. One thing about my country, anywhere we go, we love to party. So where's my party? Get ready. Show me your rock. Don't fail me now. Wave your right high. I'm not seeing your hands. I wanna see some hands in the air. I see you. I see you. black and white, we come together. Stop the war, stop the hate. Show them that we love each other. One thing, I say that anywhere we go. So where's my pussy? Get ready, get ready. Show me the road, you feel me now. Wave your rock high, up in the air. Make your rock down. We up in the air, it's rock everywhere. We ready for it. I said to wave your rock high, up in the air. Make your rock them fly, fly, fly. We up in the air. We ready for the festival again. Somebody scream. Make your rock down. Hey, 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 hey. I said to wave your rock high.
Give it up for Destra Garcia. Right now, we get into a beautiful chutney medley with our CARIFESTA ambassador, Nisha M.
CARIFESTA, how you guys feeling? Dance with me. रतिया में दुल्हा के मौसी भूलल गई करके पत्ता करार समझी बरबारे तोरे बगिनिया. All my proud Caribbean people, put your hand in the air like this. Watch me. Start to wine and turn up your hand, turn up your hand, turn up your hand, turn up your hand. Show me some love. This section. दुल्हा के मैया बजनी चुनरिया मत मतार को जे जाके बजरिया. Come on, do like this. Watch me. दुल्हा के मैया बजनी चुनरिया मत गन मतार को जे जाके बजरिया. लौंगन के रस मिल गया. You have to put one hand in the air so and turn it up, turn it up. बरबारे तोरे बेगिनिया बोझे चले बता. This section here, give my wave now. रतिया में दुल्हा के मौसी भूलल गई करके पता करार. This is St. Kitts and Nevis in front here. I'm putting you all in charge of the party. Watch me. I'm going to teach you the moves. Put your left hand on your waist and your right hand in the air and start to whine and turn up. And turn up your hand. Beautiful. के पुआ जब ना निकल गई गोरे गोरे गलबा झूमे के दिल गए. Represent where you're from. दुल्हा के पुआ जब ना निकल गई गोरे गोरे गलबा झूमे के दिल गए. कर पे सुर हो सिंगार, कर पे सुर हो सिंगार हो समझे बरबारे तोरे बेगिनिया बोझे. Can I see a wave in this dance? Come on, show me some love. रतिया में दुल्हा के मौसी भूलल गई करके पता करार समझे बरबारे. I am your reigning champion, so monarch and proud ambassador for CARIFESTA right here in Trinidad and Tobago. Make some noise. I want to take you guys on a trip. Tell me if you remember this one. Put your two hands in here and clap like this. Tell me, Lotella. Sing it for me. Oh, Lotte Bauji, I got Lotte Bauji. Oh, hit. This is the kind of song you have to get off your seat for, you know. Somebody get off your seat. Come on, roll it, roll it. Come on, give me a little, give me a little. What about this side? Buy your Bauji, but I can't get leave. Buy your Bauji, but I can't get leave. These are the chutney songs we grew up listening to. Do you feel nostalgic? Tell me. Buy your Bauji, but I can't get leave. Buy your Bauji, but I can't get leave. That's a bunch of way, Bauji, Kubinachela. I know you all know the words. I want to hear everybody sing the chorus. Oh, Lotte Bauji, I got. Eke Lotte Bauji, Lotte Nakumelo. Oh, Lotte Bauji, I got. Can I give you one more chutney classic? One more classic? Tell me if you remember this one. Rajinder Jim Jim Juma. Sing it. Sha-na-na-na.
Cha-na-na-na. What about this side? Chaturang ko kay rasan, rang ko. Chaturang ko kay. Come on, if you love shouty music, put your hands in the air like this. Turn it up now. Rajinder Jima Jima Juma. Sing it. Rajinder Jima Jima Juma. Sing the next part. Chana na 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 zini. Chana na 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 zini. Chaturang ko kay rasan, rang ko sunaoga me. Chaturang ko kay rasan, rang ko sunaoga me. Rajinder Jima Jima. Did anybody come to the Island Beats Super Concert last night? Can I see your hands in the air like this? Did you have a good time on Island Beats? It's been a pleasure hosting you guys here in Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you so much for embracing our culture and for allowing us to embrace yours. I want everybody singing next part for me, you know it. Oh, beautiful. Gawe guni kantana macho, chana na 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 zine. Clap, clap, come on, clap your hands now, clap your hands now, clap your hands now. Amberton, what you saying? Oh, gawe guni tantara macho, chana na 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 zine. Sare gama pada nisa, gawe kisuna game. Sare gama pada nisa. I want the voices join me. Rajinder Jima Jima. Louder! Rajinder Jima Jima Juma. Sing it! Chana na 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 zini. Chana na 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 zini. Chaturang ko kay rasan, rang ko sunaoga me. Chaturang ko kay rasan, rang ko sunaoga me. Rajinder. One more thing I would love for you to do for me. Can you please specially put your hands together for our Honorable Minister, Dr. Nyan Gatsby Dolly. And of course, Arlene Holman, the entire team, the entire ministry, the government of Trinidad and Tobago, and everybody who made CARIFESTA the big success that it was. My name is Nishad M. CARIFESTA Ambassador. Somebody say yeah, yeah! Shut the soca music to the world.
Yes, Nishad M. CARIFESTA Ambassador. You ready to party some more? Somebody say yeah, yeah! Somebody say turn down! As we welcome Ola, Ola Tunji.
I love how you move your body. Come, shawty, walk it for me. Understanding nothing to say cause you live them life so good like the teacher. You live and you chop it for me. Ooh la la mama, fake to pity. CARIFESTA, put your hand in the air and we go. Cause I must get a taste of the waist mama before I die. Just give me where you never give nobody. Don't be shy. I know all of them who watching they go talk. But when they talk we go tell them I don't know about you. But when I'm down in the band, me and a woman and me chanting banana. She dancing to Afro soca. I don't know about you. But when I'm on the road and I'm the back and outside, I'm not sober. She grip me like where the back and outside. What you? Ooh yeah. Oh na. She got me a begging for more. Bumper soft like butter cocoa. I ride and I walk up for so till she friends and them all and they want to cheat on. I ride on just like a moto. Rev it up and I'm ready to go. Anybody from here from Trinidad and Tobago? Cause I must get that this other waist mama before I die. Just give me where you never give nobody. Don't be shy. I know all of them who watch you. Auntie News, I don't know about you. But when I'm down in the band, me and a woman and me chanting banana. She dancing to Afro soca. I don't know about you. But when I'm on the road and I'm in the mode, you know I'm not. One more way, one more thing. Let me do the thing. Ooh yeah. Give me what I want, mommy. You have me going crazy.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Make some noise for the dancers. Love you.
Give it up for Olatunji. Tadao. Yes. So as we continue, we want to welcome royalty to the stage. And I can't do this by myself. I'm calling on my great friend Wendell to assist me as we welcome.
I want the stage clean and clear.
Yes.
I don't want no smoke.
This is not a barbecue.
I don't
Ease
want
up
no
on the smoke.
pyrotechnics. Royalty on stage.
That's right.
Everybody need to see.
Yes. We're going to bring forward a true national and regional treasure. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Make some noise as we bring to you the Queen, the living legend, the icon. Somebody say, Rose!
Oh, yeah. Tell them, baby. Oh, yeah. They say that I reign too long. Forgetting that my constitution is strong. Instead of respecting me long, long reign, they making plot to take down my name. I've been breaking down walls ever since I was small. They could stand up tall and strong like a wrecking ball. I could knock them down. Oh, yeah. They say that I've been too long, forgetting that my constitution is strong. Instead of respecting me long, long reign, they making blood to take down my name. Oh, yeah. Everywhere I reign so free. Tell them, baby. Calypso queen. No man alive or dead could come and take the crown of my head. They're foolish and petty men. I don't worry about them. They will try to take me up, but to the end I regain my crown. They say that I've been too long, forgetting that my constitution is strong. Instead of respecting my long, long reign, they making blood to take down my name. They used to call me small island girl. Now I travel the world. Anywhere they go, they know I am Calypso, Rose Queen of Calypso. Oh, yeah. Woo. Tell them, baby. Everybody dance. I am the daughter of warrior. No time to rest or retire. Others have come and gone, but Calypso Rose is still singing on. They say that I've been too long, forgetting that my constitution is strong. Instead of respecting me long, long reign, they making blood to take down my name. Tell them, baby. Woo. Woo. Merci beaucoup, danke, welcome, Charlie. Oh, yeah.
Hello, Trinidad and Tobago. How do you like Calypso Rose's beautiful gown dress right now?
Hello, darling. How are you?
I want a young boy. Woo!
Ah, boy.
Oh, boy.
Ah, boy.
Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Dank u wel. Taksameka Sugrant.
Ah, oui.
So many languages I have learned.
For
Is everybody happy? They told me after saying, leave me alone. Imagine you and your husband or your boyfriend go out to have a nice party. Because you in the house cooking, washing, cleaning, and you want to go out to meet your friends and your family to have a good time. And the music blasting. And he telling you, come on, let's go home. Is he crazy? Go home to do what? To watch the curtains? To cook? To watch Donald Trump on TV? Leave me alone! Leave me! Woo. Well, they say no more. I finish.
You want us to do it together?
Pardon me?
You want us to do it together to give everybody the same song? There we go.
Yeah.
Girl, don't touch me like you're going crazy.
Let go me hand, let me jump up in the band. I don't want nobody to come and touch me. Leave me, let me free up.
Oi.
Me safe, let me jump up.
Sing it up.
Hey. So leave me alone. Everybody. I am going home. In the party. In the party. So leave me alone.
Ladies and gentlemen, the queen of TNT, Calypso Rose. We gone.
Merci
We
beaucoup.
gone.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you. Danko wel taksameka sugrant. Mucho gracias.
Yes. And let me tell you, it's because of Rose they changed the Calypso King competition to Calypso Monarch. The first female Calypso queen and road march winner of Trinidad and Tobago. The living legend, the icon, the national treasure, Calypso Rose. We continue with another amazing icon as we take you on another chutney experience. Let's get ready to dance the night away as we welcome the iconic Ricky Cha.
Every Sunday morning in them Indian wedding, them old ladies singing, see how them young girl whining. Mortor, lawa milay, sakilawa milay, sakilawa milay. Mortor, lawa milay, sakilawa milay, sakilawa milay.
Give me yours, I give you mine. Show me yours, I show you mine. Everything we go combine. Then we mix it up together. Pan it left, pan it right. Pan it up and pan it high. Show the lawa in the sky. Then we mix it up together.
Lawa milan ke paro sengare gaile, paro sengare gaile, paro sengare gaile ho. Sabo auratiyan, sabo auratiyan, sabo auratiyan sindur lagay, sindur lagay, sindur lagay. Motor, lawa milay, sakilawa milay, sakilawa milay. Motor, lawa milay, sakilawa
some hands in the air. Come on. Mine is yours and yours is mine. Everything we will combine. Move it left, right, left, right. I want your love. Chutney music. Put your hands in the air like this. Everybody, up. We're going on Fachilawa in the savannah. Let me go. Fan it up, mix it up, mix it up. Fachilawa, mix it up. Let me mix it together. Fan it up, mix it up. Fachilawa, mix it up. Let me mix it together. Baja bajai ke yangana wa me tari, yangana wa me tari, yangana wa me tari ho. Sab sakiyan mile naache lage, mile naache lage, mile naache lage. Mortor lawa milai, sakilawa milai, sakilawa milai. Mortor lawa milai, sakilawa milai, sakilawa milai. Show me yours. This is my right hand, and I represent the red, white, and black. If you're from Trinidad and Tobago right now, let me see some hands in the air. If you love your red, white, and black, let me see the hands in the air. Sakilawa milai, sakilawa milai. Mortor lawa milai, sakilawa milai. Listen, going by we neighbor, so start up the fire. We patching the lawa and we dancing together. Ladies and young girls, they dancing together. They fanning the lawa, everyone come together. Fan it up, mix it up, mix it up. Fan the lawa, mix it up. Let me mix it together. Fan it up, mix it up, mix it up. Fan the lawa, mix it up. Let me mix it together. Mortor lawa milai, sakilawa milai, sakilawa milai. Mortor lawa milai, sakilawa milai. I want everybody to put their hands together like this. When we doing chutney music, it's traditional for the people to clap along. So come on, clap your hands, clap your hands, clap your hands. Everyone come together, fan it up, mix it up, fan it up, let me mix it together. Fan it up, mix it up, fan it up, let me mix it together. My name is Ricky Jai. God bless Trinidad and Tobago. Love you.
Another one of our national treasures, Ricky Jai, with the Chutney Experience. Of course, we are a land rich with music, and from this music, we also have Rapso. We want to bring forward one of the foundation blocks and pillars of Rapso. Help me, Queen's Park Savannah, as I introduce to you, Brother Resistance.
Lord, greetings! Ring the bell, ring the bell. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell, ring the bell. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell for justice. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell for culture. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell for freedom. Ring the bell down there. Lord, I said to ring up the bell for the Rapso rhythm. Ring the bell down there. I ring it all over. 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 Hey. Funky jungle back and Nicky down. CARIFESTA loving. Hey. Come on, brother leader. It's high time that you summon up the power.
This time, bust it in the air bell. Well, look, I have a story to tell. Well, it's a long, long time now we fighting for freedom. Victory bound to come. Assemble the people, recite the mission, let me rock the rap so rhythm. Oh, oh, I ring the bell, ring the bell. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell, ring the bell. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell for justice. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell for culture. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell for freedom. Ring the bell down there. Lord, I said to ring up the bell for the rap so rhythm. Ring the bell down there. Ring it all over. I ring it all over. I ring it all over. In the CARIFESTA, Lord, give me the rhythm, let me ride it again. Give me the rhythm, let me ride it again. The rhythm, let me ride it again. Ride it again, ride it again, Lord. Hey. So listen well, I come to deliver this word, let the voice of the dumb press be heard over the world. Well, let the children's story be told. Well, it's a long, long time now we come out for action. Glory days come to hung. I come with my bell just to second the motion. Rock the rap so rhythm. Whoa, oh, I ring the bell, I ring the bell. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell, I ring the bell. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell for justice. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell for culture. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell for freedom. Ring the bell down there. I see the ring up the bell for the rap so rhythm. Ring the bell down there. Ring it all over. Ring it all over. Ring it all over. Ring it all over. Hey. Oh. Bring it in the House of Parliament. Bring it in the seat of government. And let it hear, boy, boy. And let it hear, boy, boy. Bring it in the House of Congress. Bring it in the Buckingham Palace. In the Kremlin and Washington. I ring it in the Vatican too, Lord. Oh, oh, I ring the bell, I ring the bell. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell, I ring the bell. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell for justice. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell for culture. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell for freedom. Ring the bell down there. Lord, I said to ring up the bell for the rap so rhythm. Hey, ring the bell down there. I ring it all over. 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 Hey, give me the rhythm, let me ride it again. Give me the rhythm, let me ride it again. Give me the rhythm, let me ride it again. Ride it again, ride it again. CARIFESTA, let me ride it again. CARIFESTA, let me ride it again. CARIFESTA, let me ride it again. Ride it again, Lord. Hey, bring it all over. Hey, hey, hey. CARIFESTA. Everybody, everybody. Hey, clap your hand, clap your hand, clap your hand to the power of the drum. Clap your hand, clap your hand, clap your hand for the rap so rhythm. Clap your hand, clap your hand, clap your hand for the power of the drum. Clap your hand, clap your hand, clap your hand for the rap so rhythm. Hey, 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 stand firm for your culture. 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 CARIFESTA, stand firm for your culture.
Yes? You ring that bell, boy. Give it up for Brother Resistance. Rapso in the house, man. What you mean? I want to welcome on stage right now one of the young soca stars building on the foundation set by the forefathers before him. Three-time soca monarch, back to back to back. Anybody from Sawa? Let's welcome the Sawa youth man. Somebody say, voice.
Yeah. CARIFESTA. Whoa. From your wake up this morning. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All you sing to me, sing to me. I say, watch out, Jaja. Whoa. Here we love and life now. Everywhere is vibes now. Whoa. I say, watch out, Jaja. Bring woman so nice now. One more, take a little wine in your seat. Take a little wine. How you go down and walk up, shivers and get all and wine. Till nobody can wind up no more. Life is short and tomorrow no show. Over here, make some noise. Make some noise. Anybody proud to be from the Caribbean inside of here? Start to jump and wave. Cause he thinks so sweet. Sometimes I feel like I don't wanna go. Sing for them. Cause he thinks so sweet. It's so sweet. It's so sweet. Sometimes I feel like I don't wanna leave. Because right now I feel like a jump down, I feel like good. Wind down, I want to all Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. I feel like good, jump down, I feel like good. Wind down, I want to all on a bumper right now and get CARIFESTA, yeah. Sometimes I wonder, yeah, where I gonna be when this time is over. And sometimes I wonder, yeah, how life would I be if it didn't have so. Everybody wave from side to side like so. Wave like so. Wave like so. Wave like so. Wave for me. 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 Whoa. Drinks in me hand. Jump up and wave is the plan. Just love and girl with the man. Cause he thinks so sweet. Whoa. Sometimes I feel like I don't wanna leave. Cause he thinks so sweet. It's so sweet. It's so sweet. Sometimes I feel like I don't wanna leave. Whoa. Because right now I feel like a jump down. I feel like good. Wind down. I want to all. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. Whoa. I feel like good. Look, if you're grateful for life inside of here, everybody do so. Do so. Do so. Do so. Do so. Say cheers to life. Here's the life. Say put your drinks and shake to the. Put all your problems them to the. Cause it's a blessing to be alive. Cheers to life. Here's the life. I want to hear the entire CARIFESTA sing out for me right now. DJ, stop the music. Stop the music. From your wake up this morning. Use it. From your wake up this morning. Use it. DJ, next shoot. Outside. Give me the next song one time. Somebody say yeah, yeah. Anybody join us and say yeah, yeah. If you believe in progress and success right now, sing. I say na 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 na. I say na 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 na. I say na na. I say eh eh eh. I say na na. I say na 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 na. Eh eh. I say na 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 na. I say na 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 na. Yeah. I never run it easy for the brands and the bling and the expensive thing, no. I never had the money, never had nice living. And mama say, oh, you can have it all, just work hard for yours. When I say, mama, you know, work hard for sure. Yo, no judge, I'm blessed with the opportunity to fly country to country. No one can drink champagne, no one can see anything I never see. This is how it man so low. Show me where you're from. Represent where you're from. CARIFESTA. Start the show. Start the wave. And I'm far from finish. And I can't believe. See, I'm far from finish. I'm far from finish. Love the life that I live. Everybody do so. Do so. Do so. Do so. I say na na. I say. I say, I say na na, I say na na, I say na na, I say na na, I say. Listen, forever thankful for doubters in the past and the people who laughed for. Forever grateful for all the times I failed. Papa say, oh son, you can't give up. What's for you is for you. When I say, Papa, you know I go never turn it up. Now judge I'm blessed with the opportunity to fly country to country. Now I can drink champagne. Now I can see anything. Whoa. This is how I eat man so. But I thank your hands in the air. And I'm far from finished. And I can't believe, I can't believe, I can't believe, no, no, no. Everybody, up, up. I say, na-na. I say, whoa. I say, na-na. I say, na-na. I say, na-na. No, every little thing that I have, man, I'm thankful for. Whoa. And I don't chase material thing, cause I come from far. Anybody come from far? Every little thing that you have. Anybody come from far? CARIFESTA, hands in the air, hands in the air. Yo, and I'm far from we have done. And I can't believe, no. I'm far from finish work. Yeah, boy. Sing, yo, I say na-na. Yo, I say na-na. I say na-na. I say, I say na-na. I say na-na. I say, very first I love you, yeah.
Yes, make some noise for voice. So we had Resistance, Destra, Voice, Ricky Jaya, host of artists. Right now we get ready to bring on stage the water boss, the water lord. Somebody say, Iowa!
Wake up in the morning and you're just like CARIFESTA from a again. And you're looking for your plan. Everybody get up! Everybody get up! Get up! Jump over! Show me your hands! Way on! Jump up, show me your hands! And I like to flash all on our soul. You see your flag? Jump up again! Show me your hands! Way on! Jump up, show me your way up flag! This time, get up! Take it last, jump up! Jump up! Let me see it! Let me see it! Jump up! Let me see it! Mama, we reach. We finally reach. Where are we going so? We going so. Now we go. 1, 2. Because we reach the savannah. We reach the savannah. We reach the savannah. CARIFESTA in the savannah. Put the 2 in there. Everybody. Mash up soca drum stage. Put your hands up, jump and do the Iowa. Everybody jumping up. Are you ready, song? All you get in here, this is not a fucking here, this is sing. What you hungry for? Everything before once. Everybody. So, right, left. One more jump, everybody. 1, 2. The capital. We reach the savannah. Put the 2 in here. Everybody. Mash up, soca drum stage. Put your hands up, Where we is? Jumping up. Where we is? Where CARIFESTA is? I want the world to know where we is. Right on. Where we is? Which part in the world are we in? Where we is? Show me on the right hand. Everybody, jump. Say Trinidad. Where are my people? Where are my people? I cannot understand sing. When I'm in a session sing. Everybody do so. Everybody put your hand in the air so. You're big enough. Everybody do so. Tell them we don't like that. We gonna fix that. Get ready to jump on. Show me all you do on in the air. Everybody say. Trinidad, 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 Trinidad. Where are my people? Let me ask a question. Anybody from Grenada, Antigua, Guyana, St. Vincent, Dominica, Haiti, all the people who come to Trinidad for CARIFESTA, put your two on the air and scream! Love you.
Give it up for Neil Iowa George. Yes. Oh gosh. All you think nice. What a celebration. Again, Trinidad and Tobago, give yourselves a round of applause. What a host nation. What a successful CARIFESTA. And don't go anywhere because there's going to be an after party right here in the covered stands being put on by the police band and the prison band. So that's going to be a nice jam session. Let me acknowledge all our sponsors, our gold sponsors, First Citizens, One Caribbean Media, the House of Angostura, SCG Caribbean, our silver sponsors, Caribbean Airlines, the official airlines for CARIFESTA 14, B-Mobile, the technology partner for Streets of the Caribbean Grand Market and CARIFESTA 14 Youth Village, Republic Bank for CARIFESTA 14 Youth Village, NLCB, National Lotteries Board, Digicel, the official data network for Island Beats Super Concert, our bronze sponsor, China Railway, and our supporting sponsors, Atlantic LNG. Let me get a real nice tune, something real pumping, so we can keep the place nice and busy as we get ready for the police band and the prison band. Yes! All the islands, Grenada, I see you. St. Kitts, I see you. All you come in, just hold them up. Canada, I see you. All you come in. Yes. Yes.